Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm the Communications Director for Plan to Eat.
I'm Roni. I'm the Customer Experience Director and the lead content creator for Plan to Eat. And today we'd like to talk a little bit about how our meal planning changes as we go into summer. We've noticed that there are just some slight differences between how we meal plan in the winter compared to how we meal plan as the months warm up here.
Yeah, and the food is different too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're eating a lot more fresh vegetables and fruits, and we're getting away from those soups and stews and crock pot meals that I do love, but just don't fit in the summer. It's so warm. I want lighter, fresher things, and I don't want really hot food. And I don't want to have to cook it in my kitchen.
Yeah, don't want to heat up the kitchen.
We actually don't have AC at my house, which I know is a very completely foreign concept to some people in parts of the country, but we don't have AC. And so anything I can do to reduce the amount of heat that I add to my house during the daytime helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about the summer is grilling. And I love grilled chicken and grilled veggies and all sorts of anything that goes. If I can cook it on the grill, I cook it on the grill.
Yeah.
Pizza, you can cook pizza on the grill.
Yeah, totally.
Love that taste that it gives it. And so one of my favorite features of Plan to Eat for the summertime is our challenges. We put together a Grill It challenge a couple of years ago. I actually made all of those recipes and photographed them. I didn't write the recipes. I just made them, cooked them, and I photographed all of those. So I've tried them all, and some of those are very good, and ones that I go back to every summer since we put that together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I end up using a lot more tags when I'm doing recipe searches for the summertime, because I would say the majority of my dinner recipes that I have in Plan to Eat are more along the lines of the hot and the savory and you know, you need to cook it on the stove. But I do have, when I import recipes, I'll often put a tag that's like summer or no bake or things like that kind of help me to find the recipes when the summertime comes, so that I'm not filling up my meal planner with all of these recipes that are going to be heating up the kitchen or require me to turn the oven on, things like that.
Yeah, and speaking of the meal planner, I tend to have a much more relaxed approach to meal planning in the summertime. I typically just have things on hand for lunches, like sandwich items, or we do like a lot of like chicken salad or egg salad or something along those lines. Salads, just in general, just like green, veggie, full salads.
Yeah.
So I don't plan as much lunches and breakfasts, and I just focus on a few dinners a week, maybe 4 to 5. And usually they're 30 minutes or less, because I don't want to be spending time in the kitchen in the summer. I want to be outside enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say that mine also becomes a little more relaxed, but it's more relaxed in the fact that I like to go to the farmer's market weekly and kind of just like get whatever fresh produce that is available for that season, whether it's like early summer, late summer, there's always different things that are available. And so my meal planning is more like a week-to-week thing, and I'll, figure out all of the things that I have, plan some recipes around it, and then kind of relaxed in the way that like, if something is getting like wilty or gonna go bad soon, like I'll make that recipe first. Like even if that recipe's on Thursday and it's Monday, I don't really necessarily care what day it is. I just know that I already have the ingredients for that recipe, and they kind of need to get used up first.
Yeah. And we know, a lot of times in the summer, there's some times when things need to be more strict, like when you have guests coming over and you need to set your serving size at a certain number. And so like that meal's happening on that day for sure. Which is why the serving size is so great, because you can make sure you're feeding all of your guests that come over for your barbecue or just back porch dinner, whatever you're doing. Some of my favorite things to do in the summer. And so just knowing like that meal's for this night, but the rest of them are more fluid and kind of,
Yeah, we do a lot of camping and backpacking and stuff in the summertime. We also are just more prone to going on vacation in the summertime.
Yeah.
So what I'll often do is at the beginning of the summer, I'll look at my regular calendar and I'll make notes on my Plan to Eat planner for, like this is a weekend that we already have planned that we're going to go on vacation or planned that we're going to go camping. And that kind of helps me work around those days with my meal plan, so that I'm not making a meal plan ahead of time and forgetting that like, we're actually going to be out of town this weekend. And then I overbuy food or, something like that. But I also have a blog that I wrote recently about how to use Plan to Eat when you're camping or backpacking, because I use Plan to Eat for that too, not just my regular meal planning at home. And I do this thing where I have a couple random recipes created in my recipe book that are just a list of all of the things that we bring with us when we go camping. So it's not just our food, but it's all of the other things like sunscreen and bug spray, just to like take the mental load off of getting ready to go out of town, or like getting ready to go camping. Going out of town is one thing. You could stop at a supermarket if you really forgot something and need it, but when you're out in the back country and you forget something that's important,
and
like
you can't.
you're just out of luck if you forget it. So it's something that is really helpful for me, and then I can actually just add those recipes to my planner. And then kind of like a reminder of like, oh yeah, this is the day that I need to start getting all of these things together to put in the car, put in our backpacks, whatever.
Yeah. And if you're worried about where all those random items go on your shopping list, you can create a store called Camping Trip.
Yeah.
And then for your camping trip, you just move all those items like bug spray and marshmallows, mosquito nets, like whatever it is, you move it to this other store, and then you can just print out your list, and you've got your food list and your packing list and all your extras. But they don't have to stay on your shopping list. They can, on your like grocery store shopping list, you can just put them in a new store. So they're all consolidated in one place and not cluttering up, bug spray, mozzarella, like, boiled eggs, like you can put them in one spot. So.
Yeah, it's definitely like an alternative way of using Plan to Eat, but that's kind of the genius thing about the Plan to Eat system is like it can be hacked into be using multiple different ways.
Yeah, this is veering off a little bit, but we know people who use it for homeschooling curriculum, gardening, recipes for cleaning supplies. Like if you need a recipe for it, which if you need a recipe for your camping trip, like just think in this way, you can utilize it in these different ways and create custom categories in your recipe book so all those stay in one spot and they're not getting put in your appetizer section. It's this little way to hack it, like Roni said, and use it for way more than just meal planning. It really can be utilized for a lot more than that.
Yeah, if you need a list for something, you can pretty much use Plan to Eat to create the list.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of like road trip type vacations. So like we're going to drive to like a town 3 hours away and have a little vacation or something along those lines. And I'll create a meal plan for that. And oftentimes I'll prep food for those trips, and not for the road trip part, but actually for like when we're staying there. We most often get a place that has a kitchen, an Airbnb, or even a hotel room that has a little kitchenette. And then that way we get to eat healthier food when we're on vacation, help us feeling our best. But we eat out some, but having these meal plans prepped or meals prepped and stuff for us when we're on vacation helps us know what to eat. We don't have to pause and like figure out where we're going to go have dinner or interrupt a hike to like, oh, it's lunchtime. Like we know we packed sandwiches. Those are pre-made. They're ready to rock and roll because we took all the ingredients for them with us. It's really helpful and it saves a whole lot of money on vacation. Maybe that's a crazy concept to like pack all your food for vacation. Maybe vacationing like for you means you don't plan meals, but it's something that works really well for us and something that saves us a lot of money. And we do get to eat out and enjoy restaurants where we're staying, but we just really like doing that.
That's like a good like moderate approach to it of like doing some of each. Because it can be hard to go to a new place, like a newer city or town or something, and go to the grocery store, but like maybe you're only staying there for 2 days. And so like you could make a couple of recipes and then end up with some leftovers that you don't really know what to do with. Even if you scale a recipe down, sometimes you still end up with extra things because you can only buy a certain amount at the grocery store. You can't buy like a little small quantity of like a spice or something. So, I think it's super helpful to plan some recipes ahead of time and just pack them along with. And it's, maybe a little bit extra work up front, but then you maybe get to spend a little more time relaxing when you're on vacation.
And as the mom, like I feel like it's my job to make sure everyone's fed and we figure out all those situations. And so like for me, it actually does lighten the load. Is like it's already done and now I can relax because it's already done. So.
Well, these are some of the ways that we feel like our meal planning process changes a little bit as we go into summer. And if you've noticed that your meal planning changes in different seasons of the year, we would love to hear about it in the comments below.
Thanks
for watching.